Okay, science students, earth science students, and we're going to continue talking about, the space around our Earth and our solar system. So here every day the Earth travels around the sun, and the Earth and Moon travel together in an orbit around the sun once a year. Okay? One revolution around the sun equals 365 days. We knew that, right? This revolution causes the changing of the seasons. Okay, so here is the different seasons. Okay, so for us, our winter is when the tilt of the Earth, notice the tilt of the Earth is that way, and so that's our winter season. When the tilt of the Earth is towards us, the northern hemisphere of the Earth, then that's our summer. Okay, and as we approach summer, we have spring and summer, and then turns into autumn, and then back to winter. Okay, and talks about that. Axis rotation is 23.5 degrees. You can see that. 23.5 degrees. Okay, winter solstice, summer solstice, vernal equinox, first day of spring, and here's a really fun website you can go on to take a look at that. Earth's orbit. When the Earth moves closer to the sun, summer returns. When the Earth moves further away from the sun, in the orbit, and as it points to us, winter returns. Okay? And it continues that way. Pretty interesting look at. So there's 152 million kilometers on the average. If we convert that into miles, I think it's 93 million miles, something like that. 93 million miles. Okay, the moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. So we do have a satellite. It's called the moon. The moon is the ball of rock that's dry and dusty. It has craters, valleys, mountains, large patches called seas, right? There it is right there. In 1969, the first man stepped onto the moon. There was no wind or rain on the moon to wash the footprints away. It's still there. That's pretty spectacular, huh? I was stationed at in 1969. I was overseas stationed a couple of different times, but when they stepped onto the moon, I was in Southeast Asia and serving in the United States Air Force as I was a first lieutenant at that time. I had a special mission group. So anyway, interesting, huh? Where does light shining from the moon come? Well, it shines from the reflection off of the sun. The moon circles around the Earth about once every 28 days. The moon does not spin like the Earth. The moon only spins once a month on its axis. The moon looks bright at night, but it does not make its own light. And there's another website you can go to take a look at some of the things I've included. We see the moon because the sun shines on it. The sunlight bounces off the moon and down towards the Earth, and we see it as a reflected sunlight. As the moon travels around the Earth, we can see the different amounts of the side lit by the sun. The moon's appearance changes each day through the month, depending on where the moon is in its orbit. There's another really neat website you can go to and take a look at that. Those changes of how the moon looks from the Earth are called the moon's phases. And we saw that in just a previous PowerPoint, didn't we? Sometimes the moon looks completely dark and seems to disappear. That's the new moon. Sometimes the moon looks round. That's the full moon from us, right? After the new moon, the moon appears to change, and of course it changes into its different phases. Like there you are, right there. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so here's the new moon. We can't see the moon because it's in between the sun and the Earth, and then it goes into waxing. Waxing means we're increasing to see more of it and more of it. Here it's in its first quarter, it's maxing gibbous, okay, and then it's full moon, okay, and then it starts to wane, that waxing waning thing again, and the third quarter, and then on through. Those are the phases of the moon again, okay. A complete orbit of the moon around the Earth produces the moon phases we see. The complete cycle of the moon phases takes 29.5 days. Okay, because of the moon's orbit or cycle, 29.5 days. Moonrise can appear later each day. That's why we sometimes see the moon in the sky and at night, and other times we see it during the day. Yeah. So it just depends, doesn't it? Okay, well that's it for the moon. We might have a couple more things to talk about, but hope you're doing good, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.